What's up guys, and welcome back to another EVE Online video. So we're continuing the series on rebuilding a Wormhole corporation today, and originally my plan was to do a video today actually on the inertia we're facing and kind of the biggest challenge around that, and I still might do that video, but it's been overtaken by our third in the space of 2 months, I think, and our biggest so far eviction threat. This is a real one, absolutely an eviction threat at the moment. So we're formed up here, about to undock and take on some content, which hopefully I'll be able to bring to you guys in this video. But what I want to be able to do is document the process that we've gone through so far, and basically how the rest of the eviction defense goes, whether we're successful, whether we lose, and then bring you the outcome at the end of this video. So that's the plan anyway. But before I get into that, I want to introduce you to something. So like the vast majority of EVE Online players, I am big into sci-fi. So when I heard about a new strategy mobile game that is the first to be adapted from Asimov's Foundation series, I knew I had to check it out. It's called Foundation Galactic Frontier, and if, like me, you're into epic sci-fi, you are going to love this. In Foundation Galactic Frontier, you can explore freely across a vast universe, jumping between solar systems, planets, stations, and heading on adventures scattered throughout the universe. And this isn't just another space shooter, it's a strategic space management game. You'll build and upgrade your flagship, recruit crew, and design over 20 rooms to expand its capabilities. Your ship is your headquarters, a fully mobile fortress you can take anywhere in the galaxy. And combat fans, you're covered too. You can engage in epic ship-to-ship battles, or take on ground missions on alien worlds where you control your hero squad directly. One moment you're launching torpedoes in space, the next you're planetside exploring ancient ruins. I have to say, I love being able to absorb myself in the dual combat system. You'll also meet iconic characters from the Foundation universe. Harry Seldon, the Mule, Demoiselle, and more, each woven into the story as you expand your fleet and shape the galaxy's future. So if you're ready to join me in-game and leave your mark on Asimov's universe, use my link in the description or scan the QR code to download Foundation Galactic Frontier on mobile or PC. And don't forget, use my exclusive code WaddEnderas for bonus rewards to kickstart your journey. Okay, so here we are, formed up, ready to go. What has happened so far? So basically, last night we were a hostile fleet came in. They came in quite quickly, as you'd often expect with these things, and they refed one of our structures, which isn't a huge surprise. I mean, it happened to us just 2 weeks ago. Actually, someone refed one of our structures, but it was mostly a door knocking thing, trying to figure out our timers as a bit of a scouting, and then they left. But so this time around, they came in and refed the structure. We were forming up to give them a bit of a response fight, as is normal. It took us a minute to respond. People were coming online for the ping, and then they brought in a couple of sigils and started anchoring in Astros. So at that point we had to completely shift our thinking. That is a very clear sign that an eviction is underway. So rather than undock and just give them a good scrap, but with inferior numbers that we're confident we're going to lose, we have to not do that now, because if they pod us, we're out of hole, we're not available to defend, and it becomes a serious issue. So that's what happened. They refed one that was quite what the Raitara or the Athenor, I can't remember which they did first. Started anchoring their own Astrahus, and then came around and refed the other two structures as well. So we immediately sent out our bat phones, because this is a pretty serious threat. We're trying to defend our home, so we tapped into our bat phone network, both at director level, but also amongst our members. Now that we've got a fairly strong player base and we've got a number of experienced players, their communities that they used to fly with, they can tap into as well, which is really nice. And I have to say, the response we've received is amazing. Like, I'm completely blown away and had no idea that we'd managed to generate such a strong relationships over the course of the last few months. Why do I say that? I mean, it's not... Batphone networks can be used just to generate content. People will come and help you out, but because it's content for them, right? You can more or less guarantee a fleet fight if you can get in and take part with the defending side. So there's content. But one of the challenges we actually faced in the last 24 hours, because the response from the Batphone was so good, was we then are potentially going to overform. And actually, let me go loop back. I'm jumping around a little bit because we're going to have to undock at any moment. But once they came in and refed our structures and anchored the Astrahus, we obviously expected them to go and start establishing hull control, and maintain hull control and stop us being able to bring things in, which is why we scattered the Batphone completely, and went and got as much response as we could, looking for advice, looking for numbers, all of that kind of stuff. But in reality, they then didn't establish hull control. No idea why. It could be cockiness. They might think, having looked at our kill board and our long-term history, they might think we're not much of a threat. Maybe this isn't a serious eviction risk and they're just trying to generate content for themselves. It's really difficult to say, but they didn't establish hull control. So as a result, we've managed to bring all of our numbers back in over the last day. We've shipped in a few other ships that were needed, and we've managed to bring in a couple of, very early on, we got a couple of responses to our Batphone, and those fleets came in. So very early on, after the Batphone went out, we got a great response from a couple of groups, and we got numbers in hull. We have ships here waiting for them. One fleet has come in a full fleet of Tengus, and they're going to do their own thing and cause havoc. And another fleet came in shuttles and things, because they were bringing bodies to jump in our spare ships, of which we have a good number at the moment. So at that point, and especially as they then didn't start establishing hull control, it became clear that we might overform here. And looking at the numbers that we know they've got in, and we haven't seen anyone else come in from their side over the last day, I actually believe we could form just within disaster area and fight this threat off now. But of course we didn't know that when we sent out the Batphone. So as I say, looping back, one of the bigger challenges in the last 24 hours has actually been how to manage the expectation of the Batphone network, which is a superb problem to have. But I've spent a chunk of the day, obviously we've spent it coordinating, getting people in and that kind of stuff, but I've also spent a chunk of the day talking to them, making sure they understand that we are probably going to overform. We're now going to maybe blob them. It's not going to be the same kind of content. And the response from every single one of them without fail was, doesn't matter, we're coming to your aid, it's your home, we've got to send a message. Which honestly just amazing. Like, these are groups that we've flown a little bit with, individual members have done things with, and this is the response already, which is really exciting for us. So hopefully that continues. So we'll see how this fight goes. Expecting it to go our way at the moment, because we should heavily outnumber them, and you can see from the ship I'm in as well, we're not necessarily messing around with our response fleet. So yeah, that's it really. I mean, there's also, we'll need to have a think about what to do next. Traditionally, we've tried to fly under the radar a little bit to avoid eviction threats, and historically it's worked quite well. But obviously I've started documenting our journey on YouTube, and so flying under the radar, I think we have to accept is no longer in the question, an option. Plus, with our numbers as well now and our presence across JSpace, it's also ceasing to be an option. So instead of, we were running just the 3 medium structures to discourage people, make it not worth people's while, like evicting us. There's going to be no caps to fight. There's going to be no massive drop from a Fortizar kind of thing. That's not working. As mentioned, this is our 3rd eviction defense in, I think, 6 weeks. We're facing literally one every 2 weeks at the moment. So just have to accept that's not the case anymore. That's not working. So after this, if we survive it, then of course Fortizar is going down, and we're changing plans. We're going to start becoming a real wormhole presence, and try and discourage people from aggressing us that way rather than slipping under the radar, which is exciting, of course. And I thought this during the course of the day, even before it became evident that we were in a good spot here. This actually has come at quite a good time, this serious threat, because of recent travel for me, stuff going on with some of the other directors, new games coming online. Some of our active member base has eased off, some of our leadership has eased off, and we've been facing inertia, which I mentioned at the beginning, in terms of kind of energy and what's going on with the corporation. So actually this has really galvanized the team. Like, the last day has been fantastic, seeing the response from everyone. The numbers we've gotten online has been superb. So we'll see how this fight goes. I hope it's going to go well, and then we'll see if we can take off from here. So yeah, without further ado, guys, I guess I'll drop back onto fleet comms, and we'll see what I bring you. Whether it depends on how long the fight goes. We'll either do the whole thing, maybe with fleet comms, or we'll speed it up and see how it goes. But what I should say, of course, what are we formed up for? So they've refed all our structures. Medium structures don't have 2 timers anymore. It's been quite a long time, but just in case you don't know, medium structures only have 1 timer on armor, and then they can just go armor through hull and do it. In JSpace, these timers for us are about 4 days, so you've got time to try and form a defense. But what we've formed up for is the aggressive Astrahus anchoring timer, which was 24 hours. So we formed up to take out their Astrahus in the 15-minute vulnerability window when it onlines, and we'll see if they give us a fight. We'll see if we can take down the Astra, and then go from there. But let's see how it goes. I'll catch up with you guys after this fight, and we'll check in.
Everyone, please use broadcast as well. If you need cap, if you need repping, please use broadcast.
Everybody on duck. Everybody on duck. Align to the C3. Static.
No beer.
My little group is not in the wormhole yet.
That's fine.
You're only 1 jump away, so once you're in, you'll be in the fight fast. And you'll want exclamation point home will be the bookmark to get you into the C4P fight.
Oh, so many ships. I'm going to have a 6 week.
Right, align C3. Align C3.
The bubble there is up.
Yeah. We're going to
What
crash them. So nightmares load multi-frequency.
Some don't have the C3 bookmark.
Just take the warp anyway. That's fine. We would be warping in 3, 2, 1.
Partners on.
Take that warp.
Logi,
Nice.
as soon as you land, establish links. Establish it. Establish the transfer of the cap.
Nightmares as soon as we land. Anchor on Le Monk Igneel. Hardeners on, please. Pop your drugs if you need. I advise you do it anyway.
Send the golems. Send the golems.
Okay, lock up. Anchor up. Prop mods on. Lock up. Neck in the Basilisk. Lock up. Alexander in the Basilisk. Muha in the Basilisk. Hurricane in the Basilisk. Do not fire yet. Anchor on Le Monk. Anchor on Le Monk. Prop
Logi.
mods on.
Uncrab. Uncrab Logi on Krasnov. Anchor on Logi.
Props on.
Props on. Props on. Props on. Anchor up. Anchor up. Anchor up. And in 3, and Neko in the Basilisk in 3, 2, 1. Fire, 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 fire.
There are 2 necros.
Check, check.
Necro
I am webbed. I am webbed. Prop mods on.
Other fleets can come in.
Other fleet come in, please.
Ready.
Logi cap chain, Logi cap chain.
No, there's a mistake. Theon is in our group in a Raven.
We're going to do a switch to Muha in 5 seconds. So stop damage, stop damage, stop damage. Muha. Target Muha in the Basilisk in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Muha. All damage on Muha. Armageddons, Balgorns. Warp to the hole now. Warp to the hole now.
Just go after DPS, bro.
Yeah, keep on Muha, keep on Muha. We're breaking them. Keep on Muha.
If we break the first one, just go for Bargus, Balgorn, and then just go for Cenotaph.
Yep.
Their Balgorn's going down as well. I'd say Balgorn next.
Secondary Balgorn, X-Bad in the Balgorn. Secondary. Keep
After
on
him,
this
go
Muha.
for the Bargus. Go for the Bargus to Osen. Golems hit the Balgorn. Golems hit the Balgorn. Yeah, they can't rep this. They can't rep this.
Heat on heat. Nightmares heat on Muha. Heat on Muha.
Balgorn down.
Barguest owns Osen in the Barguest. Osen in the Barguest. Nightmare switch to Osen. Nightmare switch to Osen.
I'm down.
You pod out if you can.
All DPS in the Bargus. Let's go for the Cenotaph next. Finka in the Cena. Fuck their Logi.
Logi, Rep Krasnov.
Finka now primary. Finka now primary.
Finka. After Finka, Degront in the Cenotaph. Do we have bubbles?
Bubble. Onyx. Where's my Onyx? Get the Onyx here now. Colleen, get the Onyx here.
Okay.
If you got ECM drones for him on Logi, please.
Degrunt next. Degrunt next.
Broadcast, please. Broadcast.
Lamont, do you still want Maya Balgon?
Yeah, bring the Balgorns in. Yeah.
Roger.
Just go down.
Any
Go down.
Geddons as well. Go straight for the Logi.
Go for Nighthawks now. Nighthawks. Jedi K, right? Yeah.
Should I log in the golems too?
Yes, the golems should already be here, bro. Yes, I called for the golems ages ago. No wonder we're not killing anything. Holy shit. Okay, let's go after their FC next. Beatrice. We're gonna headshot their FCs. I'm gonna call their FC targets.
After Degrunt, we're going on Beatrice in the Nighthawk. Little bit of heat on, just a little bit of heat on Degrunt. A little bit of heat now. A little bit of heat.
Roll the C4. Roll the C4. They're coming from the C4. More coming
Okay,
from the
roll
C4. You need to roll the C4.
Rollers on C4, please. Emergency rollers on C4.
Centaur's going down.
Beatrice next. To keep on the Degrunt. Come on.
Heat on the grunt. Heat, everyone, heat. Take your drugs and heat.
Some of your guys are jamming us.
Do not jam lupus stuff, guys. Do not jam lupus. You should only be shooting for late.
Beatrice, all damage on Beatrice, please.
You need to roll this wormhole. They're trying to jump out. We need to roll all the wormholes and trap their fleet.
Where are rollers? Where are the rollers?
You want me to
Melissa,
look at the
there will be
rollers?
one roller.
They're all in the wormhole at 0. Boosters, any boosters. Jedi K, they're all jumping out.
They're all jumping out, yeah.
Lupus is following them through the hole.
Fuck it, I'm going with you. I don't have a scanner in there. Just FYI.
Bring a scanner in.
Did they join? Just came back.
Yeah, I'm jumping too.
Can you keep the
Chronos
broadcast target, please?
Guys.
Chronos
Primary.
Chronos. Ariel in the Chronos broadcast.
All DPS on Kronos.
He jumped. Muha.
If you're on the other side, I'm shooting Beatrice.
Next is Anastasia in Basilisk. Props on.
Hole is reduced.
Yeah, be careful with the hole, guys. Let's kill their Logi while we've got the chance. So Anastasia, next is going to be Vitality. Vitality is going to be next. Vitality now. Next is Bifrost. Angel Heather, get tackle on Bifrost if you can.
Okay, so we just saw that fight went pretty well. Haven't checked our kills and losses yet, but we've managed to force them out of system, so that is a very good thing. We're now just waiting for the structure timer, which should be in the next few minutes. And yeah, we've rolled everything up, so hopefully they can't bring anything else in. They shouldn't have anyone docked because their whole fleet that we knew of that were in system either got podded or left. So this should be an uncontested structure bash now. Yeah, and we'll see, I guess. So obviously I'm not going to keep you waiting. We'll rejoin with the structure bash, see if we can get a pretty explosion at the end. Okay, and that was a successful wormhole defense, thankfully. Things went smoothly. I'm going to we did the structure bash, which I'll play in the background here while I'm talking. They didn't come back in or try and bring anything in to defend the structure bash, so that went unchallenged, which is great, of course. So we took down their Astros before they were able to get the core in, before it got anchored, so they had no foothold anymore. And then we spent the next 3 days, I think it was, maintaining hull control, keeping things door stopped, ahead of our timers for our structures. Now, obviously, we thought it was unlikely that they would come back, although still absolutely a chance. We do know that the Evictors were, friendly to the Big Blue Donut in J-Space, so it was possible that they might come back with a bunch of stuff. So we had to stay vigilant, even though we thought it was unlikely. The other thing as well was you can also get opportunists. If just a random explorer came through, saw all our structures reinforced, and they could take the timers. They could, of course, try and infill a fleet to either third party and fight two fleets if there's going to be a fight, or to bash the structures themselves. So we had to maintain proper hull control, reasonable wormhole discipline over the few days between this and our timers, and then formed up for a defense on our timers as well. Unfortunately, I was away specifically on that day. I did have to travel for work, but the team still formed a genuine defense fleet, and fortunately, unfortunately, however you want to look at it, unfortunately from a content point of view, fortunately from our home security point of view, we'd successfully kept anyone out over the few days in between, and there was no fight on our timers. So hull successfully defended again, which is great. And as I mentioned at the beginning, really, really exciting to see what kind of impact and relationships we've built up across J-Space already. Still quite early in our rebuild, and it's given us a lot of confidence to progress and move forward as a group. We, of course, have had to rethink our approach. These structures aren't enough now to keep us safe and to keep us secure. So we're going to get our Fortizar anchored. We've had one in hull for a little while, just waiting, but we had our goal of the number of people and number of ships and what kind of comp we wanted to be able to produce before we anchored it. We're going to accelerate that timeline, I think, because we're not flying under the radar at the moment. So accelerate that timeline. We'd already met the number of pilots goal. Number of active pilots we've absolutely met. One of the current issues going into this eviction was activity levels and inertia, and not necessarily from the membership, but back up in leadership and other management positions and things. People we had brought into management and were super active have since kind of moved on to other games, or had to take breaks from the game, or people like me who have been busy with work travel. We've had another leader change jobs and move house and things. So as always, we run into real life inertia. But what we want to try and ride now is the momentum that's come from this eviction defense. Try and ride that momentum to galvanize us back into some good activity and things in the hull. One of the things that also was highlighted is we had excellent, we did have genuine, much better coverage across the time zones than I thought we had. But we still absolutely need members outside of the EU time zones. Of course, we need decent PvPers within the EU as well, but we do need more numbers and more PvP pilots outside of the EU time zones, so North American, Australian, to build some activity out there. So it was really nice to see we've got the coverage, we've got activity in those time zones, but we do need to strengthen there. So if you're interested in J-Space and you've been following the series, of course, feel free to send in an application, and we'll get it processed. But yes, that's it. We successfully defended. Really pleased with how it's gone. We're on standby to form up for any one of our allies that came, any one of the bat phone, I should say. Ally is probably the wrong term because in Wormhole alliances are different. But any one of the bat phone network that came to our aid, we are of course on standby, ready to go if they need aid. We've got a lot of open Diplo channels now, and yeah, really positive few days, all things considered. So I'm feeling pretty pumped. So with that, I'll try and get the series back up and running again for the next several weeks. Try and bring you regular updates. Sorry about the gap, but we'll see about getting the 4-star anchored, and there's a couple of other changes on the horizon that I'll hopefully be able to bring to you next week as well. So with that, thanks very much for watching, guys, and I will see you all in the next one. Cheers.